Asterisk. Can you imagine? A single 1-cent coin, just a penny, worth over $2 million? Flush face, yes, you heard that right. That old 1970 Lincoln penny sitting somewhere in your drawer might just make you a millionaire overnight. So, before you spend that penny on candy, you might want to take a closer look. Let's go back in time to the year 1970. Richard Nixon was the U.S. president. The Vietnam War was raging, and millions of Lincoln pennies were being minted. But among those millions, a few rare error coins slipped through. Coins that would become legendary in the world of collectors. These were the 1970s Lincoln cents, and what made them special wasn't just their age. It was a tiny minting mistake that most people never even noticed. You see, during minting, the U.S. Mint accidentally used an older die from 1969, the previous year, when striking some 1970 coins. This caused a unique and rare feature known as the double die obverse. If you look closely, the letters on the coin, especially Liberty and the date 1970, appear doubled, like a shadowy echo on metal. Now, to an untrained eye, it just looks like a small printing issue, but to collectors, it's pure gold. This tiny doubling error turned ordinary copper into something worth millions. One of these 1970s double die Lincoln cents was sold for over $2.30 million in a private auction. Just imagine, a 1-cent coin, something most people wouldn't even bother to pick off the floor, suddenly changing someone's life forever. How to identify the $1 million penny asterisk. So how do you know if your 1970 penny is one of those rare gems? Here's what to look for. Backhand index pointing down. 1. The coin must have a small S mint mark right below the date. That means it was minted in San Francisco. Point 2. Look carefully at the word Liberty and the date 1970. If you see a clear doubling or shadow effect, congratulations. You might be holding a treasure. Point 3. Use a magnifying glass or zoom in with your phone camera. Even the letters in God We Trust might show a double outline. And here's a secret tip. Even if your penny doesn't show a strong doubling, it can still be valuable if it's in mint condition, shiny, untarnished, and with no scratches. Collectors pay hundreds to thousands of dollars even for minor variations. Today, depending on its condition and rarity, a 1970s double die Lincoln penny can sell anywhere between $1,000 to over $2.40 million. Yes, that's more than a Lamborghini for a single penny you could have found in your pocket change. One amazing story tells of a man in California who discovered this rare penny while sorting through an old jar of coins left by his grandfather. At first, he thought it was just another old coin, until he noticed the doubling under a bright light. He took it to a local coin shop, and after a few expert verifications, the coin was later auctioned for over $2 million, from pocket change to a millionaire, all because of one lucky find. So the next time you find an old penny, don't ignore it. It could be one of those 1970s double die Lincoln cents that changed people's lives. Check your change, your drawers, even your grandparents' coin jars, because you never know where treasure might be hiding. What if I told you that a simple 1976 Lincoln penny sitting in your pocket could make you a millionaire overnight? Face screaming in fear? Yes, that's right. One small copper coin, minted nearly 50 years ago, is now shocking the coin world with a mind-blowing value in the millions. So before you spend that penny, watch this video till the end, because yours might just be the lucky one. Let's rewind the clock back to 1976, the year America celebrated its bicentennial, 200 years of independence. Millions of coins were minted that year, from quarters to half dollars. But something strange happened with the Lincoln penny struck at the Denver Mint, the famous 1976 D. Now, most of these pennies are worth just 1 cent, of course, but among those millions, a few rare ones were struck with incredible minting errors, mistakes so unique that collectors would pay anything to own them. So what makes the 1976 D penny so special? Experts say it's all about die variety, metal composition, and minting flaws. Some rare examples were accidentally struck on bronze planchets instead of the regular copper-coated zinc ones. Others show double dies, where Lincoln's image or the date appears slightly duplicated, creating a shadow look under a microscope. But the rarest of all? A 1976 D penny that shows a double strike and off-center. Minting asterisk asterisk, meaning the coin was hit twice inside the press, shifting the design. That one coin, graded by PCGS as mint state, with full red luster, reportedly sold for over $1.2 million. Money bag collectors go crazy for these kinds of errors because they're like tiny historical accidents, never meant to exist, and because 1976 was such a symbolic year. Anything from that time holds even more emotional and collector value. People often find these rare pennies in old coin jars, pocket change, or inherited collections asterisk asterisk, completely unaware that they might be holding a fortune. Imagine, one day you're counting your loose change, and suddenly you notice something odd about a 1976 D penny. Maybe the D mint mark looks doubled, or the Lincoln portrait seems slightly off. Before you know it, that same coin could fetch you a life-changing amount at auction. If you want to check your own coins, here's what to look for. 1. Mint mark. The tiny D below the date should be examined carefully under magnification. A doubled or misplaced D could mean rarity. 2. Color and surface. A bright red or deep bronze luster indicates a well-preserved coin. Collectors pay high premiums for that. 3. Error signs. Look for off-center strikes, double dies, or uneven edges. 4. Weight. A normal 1976 penny should weigh around 3.11 grams if it's bronze, or 2.5 grams if zinc. Anything different could mean it's a minting error piece. Even small differences can make huge changes in value, from a few dollars to hundreds of thousands, even millions. Now, you might be wondering, how can you sell one if you find it? Well, never clean the coin. That can destroy its value instantly. Instead, take it to a professional coin dealer, or better yet, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Once graded, that little coin could become your ticket to fortune. Collectors worldwide are constantly searching for verified 1976 D errors in top condition. So next time you get change from a store, don't ignore the pennies. Because one day, one of them could change your life forever. So what are you waiting for? Check your pockets, your piggy bank, even that old jar of coins your grandparents left behind. If you find a 1976 D Lincoln penny, look closely, because that tiny coin might just be your millionaire moment. Money bag. Imagine finding a simple 1983 penny in your old wallet, only to discover it's worth over $1 million. Face screaming in fear sounds unbelievable, right? Well, in today's video, we're diving deep into one of the most shocking coin discoveries ever, the 1983 Lincoln penny that turned ordinary people into overnight millionaires. Back in 1983, nobody could have imagined that a small change in metal composition would create one of the rarest and most valuable Lincoln pennies in history. You see, in 1982, the U.S. Mint made a big decision. They stopped making pennies out of 95% copper because copper had become too expensive. Instead, from 1983 onward, most pennies were made of zinc coated with a thin layer of copper. But here's where the mystery begins. Somehow, by mistake, a few 1983 pennies were struck using the old copper planchets from 1982. That means those rare coins are made of solid copper, not zinc, and that one tiny error made them worth a fortune today. Collectors call it the 1983 copper penny error, and it's one of the most hunted modern coins ever discovered. Now, here's the crazy part. One of these 1983 pennies was actually tested and confirmed to be copper, and when it hit the auction block, it sold for over $15. 000, but that was years ago. Since then, the value has skyrocketed. Experts believe that in pristine condition, a genuine 1983 copper penny could fetch over $1 million. Yes, 1 cent turning into a life-changing treasure. Money bag, and the best part? These coins are still out there, in circulation, in old jars, and maybe even inside your house. So how do you know if your 1983 penny is worth millions? Here's what to check. Backhand index pointing right the year. 1983, no mint mark or with a D. For Denver. Use a magnet. Real copper pennies won't stick to it. Weigh your coin. If it's around 3.1 grams, congratulations, it might be the real deal. Most 1983 pennies weigh around 2.5 grams because they're zinc, but the copper ones are heavier. That's the secret clue that could make you rich. Now imagine this. You're digging through an old box of coins, and suddenly you spot that brownish 1983 penny. You grab a scale, weigh it, and boom, 3.1 grams. Your heart starts racing. You realize you're holding one of the rarest modern coins in U.S. history. A 1-cent piece that could literally change your life. It's stories like these that remind us why coin collecting is so exciting. Sometimes, the smallest treasures hold the biggest surprises. And yes, this single 1983 penny has made headlines around the world, from collectors' forums to national news, proving once again that luck, timing, and a little curiosity can turn an ordinary penny into $1 million jackpot. Collision. Imagine finding a simple 1990 Lincoln penny in your change, a coin worth just 1 cent. But what if I told you that very same penny could make you a millionaire overnight? Face screaming in fear in today's video, we're diving deep into the unbelievable story of a 1990 penny that turned pocket change into pure gold, literally worth over $1 million. Main story / full voiceover script, 0:20 to 5 o'clock. In 1990, millions of Lincoln pennies were struck by the U.S. Mint, a completely normal year for coin production. But hidden among the billions of ordinary cents, a tiny mistake happened that would later shake the entire coin collecting world. This was no ordinary penny. It looked the same. Abraham Lincoln's face on one side, the Lincoln Memorial on the other, but there was something extremely rare about it. You see, in 1990, the Mint used different master dies for proof coins and for circulation coins. Proof coins, made for collectors, were struck at the San Francisco Mint, and they carried a small S mint mark under the date. Regular coins struck for circulation had either a D for Denver or no mint mark at all. But one day, a mint worker accidentally used the proof die, the 1 mint for collector coins, on a batch of regular copper-plated zinc blanks meant for circulation. The result? A 1990 penny with no mint mark but struck from a proof die. This accident created what collectors now call the 1990 NOS proof Lincoln cent, one of the most famous modern mint errors ever discovered. At first, nobody noticed. These coins slipped quietly into circulation, sitting in cash registers, pockets, and piggy banks for years. But in the mid-1990s, sharp-eyed collectors started spotting differences in the design. The strike was sharper, the finish mirror-like, and the absence of the S mint mark told the full story. When the first examples hit the coin market, experts were stunned. Only a few hundred of these proof error coins were believed to exist. Collectors went wild, and prices skyrocketed. At auction, one pristine 1990 NOS Lincoln penny sold for over $1 million, making it one of the most valuable modern pennies ever found. Money bag. Now imagine, you might have one sitting in your old coin jar right now. To check. Look carefully at your 1990 pennies. Backhand index pointing right if it looks shiny like a proof coin, with extra sharp details, but doesn't have an S under the date, you could be holding one of the rarest cents in U.S. history. experts recommend getting it authenticated by PCGS or NGC, the top coin grading companies. Because if it's real, congratulations, you're officially rich. So next time you get change back from the grocery store, don't ignore that old penny. It might just be your golden ticket to a millionaire's life. If you enjoyed this video and want to discover more hidden treasures hiding in your pocket, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because tomorrow we'll reveal another mind-blowing coin story that could change your life forever. Money bag fire. Imagine this, you're digging through your pocket change, and suddenly, a simple brown penny catches your eye. But wait, this isn't just any penny. This tiny 1997 D Lincoln cent could be worth over $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent turning ordinary people into overnight millionaires. Astonished face money bag before you toss it in a jar? You might want to look closer, because your next coin could change your life forever. Studio microphone. Back in 1997, millions of Lincoln pennies rolled out from the Denver Mint, marked with the letter D right below the year. To most people, these coins were just spare change. But a few special pieces came out with rare minting errors that made them worth a fortune. Now, what kind of errors? Let's break it down. Backhand index pointing down. Some 1997 D pennies were struck with double dies, meaning the design was accidentally imprinted twice, creating a shadow-like doubling effect on Lincoln's face, the date, or the word liberty. Collectors go crazy for these. Then there were off-center strikes, where part of the design was missing because the blank coin wasn't perfectly aligned in the press. Some coins were broad struck, spreading out larger than normal. And here's the jaw-dropper. A few rare 1997 D pennies were actually struck on the wrong metal planchets, like those used for dimes or even foreign coins. That kind of minting mistake instantly skyrockets value into the hundreds of thousands, even millions. Studio microphone. One such legendary piece, the 1997 D Lincoln penny with a dramatic double die and off-metal strike, was discovered by a collector in Colorado. At first, he thought it was just another penny, until he magnified it under proper light. What he saw made his heart skip a beat. The 7 and the date appeared doubled, Lincoln's lips showed a slight duplication, and the coin felt slightly lighter, signs of a major minting anomaly. He submitted it to PCGS, one of the world's most trusted coin grading companies. And when the results came back, this single penny was certified as a unique mint error, valued at over $1.8 million. Face screaming in fear. Studio microphone. That's right. One ordinary-looking coin from your change jar could be a life changer if you know what to look for. So, let's go over what makes a 1997 D penny truly valuable. Backhand index pointing down 1 mint mark asterisk. Look for the tiny D under the year 1997. That means it was made in Denver. Point 2 doubling asterisk. Use a magnifying glass. Check for doubled letters in Liberty or the date. Point 3 color and weight asterisk. If it looks odd in color, silverish or lighter, or feels lighter than normal, it could be struck on the wrong planchet. Point 4 condition asterisk. The better the condition, shiny, minimal scratches, the higher the value, even regular. Uncirculated 1997 D pennies can fetch $50 to $300, but error varieties have sold for hundreds of thousands to millions. Asterisk asterisk. So yes, your humble penny could literally be $1 million treasure hiding in plain sight. Studio microphone. So the next time you find a 1997 D penny, don't spend it, inspect it. You might be holding the next record-breaking coin in your hand. If you love discovering hidden treasures and rare coins like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and turn on the bell so you never miss your chance to get rich overnight with pocket change. Studio microphone. What if I told you that a simple 1-cent coin from 2013, something you might have in your pocket right now, could actually be worth over $3 million? Sounds crazy, right? Well, today we're diving deep into one of the most shocking coin discoveries ever, the 2013 Lincoln penny that turned ordinary people into millionaires overnight. Don't blink, because this story might just change the way you look at every penny you find. Every coin tells a story, but the story of the 2013 Lincoln penny is something no one expected. In 2013, the U.S. Mint released billions of Lincoln pennies, copper-plated zinc coins that most people never even noticed. But among those billions, a few extremely rare error coins slipped through. These weren't your normal shiny pennies. These were coins that had something extraordinary. Collectors began to notice that some 2013 pennies had striking errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, and missing mint marks. But one particular penny made headlines. A 2013 Lincoln penny that sold for a jaw-dropping $3 million at a private auction. What made this penny so special? It wasn't made of gold. It wasn't encrusted with diamonds. It was valuable because it had a unique minting error, a double die obverse, where Lincoln's image appeared slightly duplicated. This tiny imperfection made it one of the rarest modern pennies ever discovered. Coin experts say only a handful of these error coins exist. Imagine billions of pennies produced, and maybe only 10 or 20 of them have this exact flaw. That's rarer than winning the lottery. And the best part? Some of these rare pennies were actually found in circulation, meaning ordinary people got them in their change from stores, gas stations, and vending machines. One lucky man reportedly found his 2013 penny at a grocery checkout, and after getting it graded and authenticated, he walked away with millions of dollars. Now, you might be wondering, how can I find one of these? Here's what to look for. Backhand index pointing down. Take any 2013 penny and look closely under a magnifying glass. Add Lincoln's face and the lettering. In God we trust. If you notice a slight doubling or a faint blur, that's a sign you might have a double die error. Also, check for a missing mint mark under the date. Those are extremely rare and highly collectible too. Condition matters a lot. A penny with strong luster, no scratches, and visible doubling could be worth anywhere from a few $100s to millions if authenticated by grading companies like PCGS or NGC. So the next time you get a handful of change, don't just throw those pennies aside. Because history shows that even the smallest coin can hold a life-changing treasure. Who knows? The next rare 2013 Lincoln penny could be sitting right there in your pocket, waiting to make you rich. What if I told you the penny lying in your drawer right now could make you a millionaire overnight? Money bag, yes. The 2016 Lincoln penny, a coin that looks so ordinary, has shocked collectors after one piece sold for over $6.6 million. So grab your change jar, because after watching this video, you'll never look at pennies the same way again. Every day, millions of people use pennies without a second thought, buying coffee, paying bus fare, or just tossing them aside. But in 2016, one tiny coin, the Lincoln penny with the Denver D mint mark, became the center of attention for coin collectors around the world. At first glance, it looks just like any other penny. Abraham Lincoln's face on the front, the Union Shield design on the back, and that shiny copper color we all know. But here's the twist. One of these coins turned out to be a rare minting error, making it one of the most valuable modern U.S. coins ever discovered. Now you're probably thinking, asterisk, how can a 1-cent coin be worth over $6 million? Asterisk, well, let's break it down. The U.S. Mint in Denver struck billions of 2016 pennies. But during the minting process, one coin was struck on a bronze planchet instead of the usual copper-plated zinc. That means this penny wasn't just different. It was a 1 in a billion mistake. When it was later discovered by a coin collector in Colorado, it looked slightly off in color, a deeper red-brown tone with unusual weight. After testing, experts confirmed it was 99% bronze. Just like pennies made decades earlier, And then came the moment that changed everything. At an exclusive auction, this coin sold for a jaw-dropping $6.6 million. Collectors called it a miracle find because something this rare isn't supposed to exist in modern coinage. Just imagine a simple penny from your pocket change turning into a life-changing fortune. It's the kind of story that makes every coin hunter dream big. So, how can you tell if your 2016 D penny might be special? Here's what to look for. First, check for the D mint mark just below the year 2016. Second, weigh your coin. A normal penny weighs 2.5 grams, but the rare bronze one weighs about 3.1 grams. Third, observe the color. If it looks darker or slightly reddish-brown, that's a sign of a possible bronze error. And finally, if you suspect you have one, don't clean it. Get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Because who knows? Your next grocery store penny might just be your $6.6 million golden ticket. Coins like the 2016 D remind us that value isn't always about what you see. Sometimes, the smallest, most ordinary things can hold unbelievable secrets.